I'm going to take you guys back to a little movie called Super Mario Brothers. It's a prime example of how an adaptation can go extraordinarily wrong. You took this amazing video game franchise and you turned it into this terrible movie. Today we're going to be talking about how adaptations can go right or wrong on State of the Multiverse. Hi guys, I'm Ariana Morgan here with the Apocalypse Girls.
I'm Samantha Crush.
And I'm Kira Corellia.
This man is a creator of a cultural icon which has spanned nearly all forms of media, from comics to movies, cartoons to toys. His creation is even featured on children's lunchboxes. In 1984, when he spawned the idea of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, little did he know just how prevalent it would become, not just for its time, but for decades to come. Please welcome our special guest, Kevin Eastman.
Hey.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Of course, thanks for being with us.
Very excited.
Yeah, I know, super excited. So today we're actually going to be talking about cross-media and what it takes to make a good adaptation and what can go wrong with adaptations.
But also what can go right.
Yeah, what can go right.
No, good. It's a great question. In fact, I think with the biggest mistake that most of Hollywood, I guess, generalized Hollywood makes is when they immediately take a great idea, a great creation based on a book and disregard the initial fan base. I mean,
right.
It's like,
Definitely.
we don't really think that character needs to be in that costume. We don't really think he needs to be this. We don't need.
It's the little details that matter.
Huge. I mean, it's like having somebody that grown up, reading comic books, and every time I go to a comic book movie, and there's numerous ones that were just terrible. Even with the Turtles, we had difficulty keeping people focused. Well, they should be more of this. They should be more of that. But we're lucky in that we're in a day and age when you have somebody like Joss Whedon who can do the Avengers, and I practically wept. That movie was so awesome. It was perfect for my childhood. So.
That was actually something I kind of wanted to mention, was that it used to be that when there were adaptations made, however it was made, they weren't as dedicated to the original storyline. But I think nowadays we have a lot more dedication going on to keeping it pure.
Right, and just straying a little bit from the movie topic, another adaptation that went right is the Pokemon series, which started as video games, and now it's anime, it's the collectible card game, it had movies.
It's toys.
Yeah, tons of merchandise, and that's something...
Tons of merchandise.
Yeah, that's something you're familiar with. Your creation has done the exact same thing.
Yeah, no, it's funny when you were talking earlier, I got to see recently with the director, Steve Barron, the first Turtle movie on the big screen. I hadn't seen it since it came out in the 90s. And what was fantastic about it was that it reminded me of how great a director Steve was, that he actually pulled that movie off, how amazing Jim Henson was to bring those turtles to life, because it was really scary. I mean, this dives right into what your topic is that we had started as a comic book, and the comic book evolved into toys, and the toys evolved into an animated series, and we had turtle coloring books, we had turtle lunchboxes, we had turtle things, and then along comes this opportunity to make the movie. And I remember our agent and everybody was like, if this movie flops, the whole franchise is dead.
It could have just
buried.
crashed.
And so, and I still remember going on the back lot in Wilmington, North Carolina, the first time we went down on set. We'd seen sculptures that they'd used to create the turtle costumes, but we'd never seen a full costume until going in the back lot the first day. You kind of come around this corner, and there's the turtles in full costume, actors aside. I'm jumping around, like stretching and getting ready.
That would have been so amazing.
Almost passed out.
I mean, that's
pretty
like your dream, like
just
in reality.
Yeah, and that was the thing, because what was amazing is that I'm like, this is never going to work. This is never going to work. Never going to work. You go around, you see them, and you go, oh my God, this is actually going to work.
So then, can I ask you, as a fan of the Lord of the Rings series, how do you feel about The Hobbit being split into 3 books and having Peter Jackson actually take liberties with the story?
Well, man, it's like
conflicted.
no, it's conflicted because to me there was the liberties that he took even with the original trilogy, and then trying to stretch the Hobbit. To me, what I didn't like about the first installment of the Hobbit just seemed, going back to Middle Earth, and it seemed a little tedious, a little long, and I think that they didn't need to make it into 3 movies. I mean, you want to see it, you want to live it, you want to when he gets to the battle scenes, they're going to be epic and they're going to be beautiful.
And I hear one of the reasons it's so long is that he includes the full-length songs the entire way through, like all of the songs, and that's like definitely extended the length of the movie.
Was that? Yeah, that's what he went to all the appendices, and there's like stuff that
But
Tolkien wrote.
How
wrote
important is
stuff
that? I mean, like there's that side too. Is like how important is it to include like the original works, like every single detail? Like I have a big problem with like Zack Snyder's like 300 because or that kind of like. I don't know. I guess I loved Sin City when it came out. I'm like, this is so great, except that I never want to watch it again because I read it and I watched it and like nothing was different at all. Like it was the same because it was beyond a book climbing like a director climbing in my head and giving pictures to what I thought belonged solely to me. It was we had pictures and then we made them move, and so you got to see and hear. And it's
some people would argue that that's what made Sin City so great.
I agree.
Because it was exactly the comic.
It was the first of. I mean, like. I don't know. I agree that does make it great. It also makes it boring. It also makes it like unwatchable. Like, I bought it and I had it for 5 years and never watched it again.
How would you feel about your material being adapted, like panel for panel, into other media?
To me, I mean, I like 300 because it was, what Zack Snyder adapted. Key Frank Miller scenes, but he expanded on the acting and deeper into the stories, and there was enough of meat that he could throw onto the structure that made it a bit more of a complete story. Sin City was the same thing. It was, I think they took 1, 2, 3, the first 3 graphic novels, picked the best scenes from, Hardigan and Marv and The Yellow Bastard, and strung them together into I think a complete movie. But what's interesting is when we started working on the first Turtle movie, is the first writer that came in worked on a TV series called The Jeffersons, and they said, "Oh, funny show, turtles are funny. This is the perfect writer."
Right.
And it was. I'm serious. He came in, and we were there for half a day in the studio in Massachusetts, and Peter and I left. We just said, "We will not work with this guy." He said, "He's like, he couldn't sit down. He was complete ADD, and just I think we should do this, and we should do this." And we literally said, "We're not doing the film," and the main producer said, "Well, wait till you meet the director. This guy's name's Steve Barron. He directed Dire Straits' Money for Nothing, the Aha video. He did Billie Jean. He's got a great visual sense. He's worked with Henson." And Steve Barron came in, and we had produced this 500-page Turtle black and white collection, and had gone through and sort of put Post-it notes of, I want to do this from... I
want this scene, I want this scene.
This scene from Turtles 1, I wanted this from Leonardo, this from Turtles 10, this from Turtles 11. He said, this is how we're going to string the whole movie together. And there's actually scenes from the movie that he pulled right from panels.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Let us know what you think, what makes adaptations go right and what makes them go wrong down in the comments below. Go ahead and check out our other videos and the other segments in this week's topic.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.